قصة جديدة بعنوان النوبائي.
Ruth is pregnant. She is expecting a baby. The baby is due in 2 months. The baby is a boy. It is her first boy. She already has a little girl. Her little girl is 2 years old. Ruth loves her little girl. Her little girl is happy to get a baby brother. Ruth is eating for 2 people right now. She is very careful about what she eats and drinks. She eats a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. She eats fresh fish twice a week. She doesn't drink alcohol or coffee. She doesn't eat candy or potato chips. She stays away from cigarette smokers. She will have a healthy baby. Ruth is pregnant. She is expecting a baby. The baby is due in 2 months. The baby is a boy. It is her first boy. She already has a little girl. Her little girl is 2 years old. Ruth loves her little girl. Her little girl is happy to get a baby brother. Ruth is eating for 2 people right now. She is very careful about what she eats and drinks. She eats a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. She eats fresh fish twice a week. She doesn't drink alcohol or coffee. She doesn't eat candy or potato chips. She stays away from cigarette smokers. She will have a healthy baby.
قصة melted cheese.
Stephen was hungry. What could he eat? He looked in the refrigerator. He saw some orange cheese. He saw some yellow butter. He knew what he would eat. He would eat a melted cheese sandwich. He took the cheese and butter out of the refrigerator. He buttered 2 slices of bread. He sliced the cheese and put it between the 2 buttered slices. He heated the frying pan. He put the cheese sandwich into the frying pan. After 3 minutes, he flipped the sandwich over. After 3 more minutes, he put the melted cheese sandwich on a plate. Stephen was hungry. What could he eat? He looked in the refrigerator. He saw some orange cheese. He saw some yellow butter. He knew what he would eat. He would eat a melted cheese sandwich. He took the cheese and butter out of the refrigerator. He buttered 2 slices of bread. He sliced the cheese and put it between the two buttered slices. He heated the frying pan. He put the cheese sandwich into the frying pan. After 3 minutes, he flipped the sandwich over. After 3 more minutes, he put the melted cheese sandwich on a plate.
فيديو جديد بعنوان Clean the Apartment.
Kenneth cleaned his apartment. He emptied the trash. He washed the dirty dishes. He looked in his bathroom. The sink and bathtub were dirty. He scrubbed the sink and bathtub. He looked in his bedroom. Clothes were on the floor. He picked up the clothes. He put the shirts on hangers. He folded the pants. He put the pants in the dresser. He washed the dirty clothes. He looked in his living room. Papers were on the floor. Books and newspapers and magazines were on the floor. He picked them all up. He put them on the bookshelves. Then he vacuumed his whole apartment. Kenneth cleaned his apartment. He emptied the trash. He washed the dirty dishes. He looked in his bathroom. The sink and bathtub were dirty. He scrubbed the sink and bathtub. He looked in his bedroom. Clothes were on the floor. He picked up the clothes. He put the shirts on hangers. He folded the pants. He put the pants in the dresser. He washed the dirty clothes. He looked in his living room. Papers were on the floor. Books and newspapers and magazines were on the floor. He picked them all up. He put them on the bookshelves. Then he vacuumed his whole apartment.
فيديو جديد بعنوان Fast Driver.
Brian has a fast car. He drives his car fast. He never gets a ticket. His car is too fast for the police. They chase him, but they can't catch him. Brian always escapes from the police. The police want to catch him, but their cars are too slow. Brian's car is very fast. He likes to drive over 100 miles per hour. When he sees the police, he waves to the police. The police turn on their sirens. They turn on their red lights. They chase after Brian. Brian speeds up. He passes all the other cars on the road. He escapes from the police. Brian has a fast car. He drives his car fast. He never gets a ticket. His car is too fast for the police. They chase him, but they can't catch him. Brian always escapes from the police. The police want to catch him. but their cars are too slow. Brian's car is very fast. He likes to drive over 100 miles per hour. When he sees the police, he waves to the police. The police turn on their sirens. They turn on their red lights. They chase after Brian. Brian speeds up. He passes all the other cars on the road. He escapes from the police.
فيديو جديد بعنوان No Energy.
Carol felt tired. She felt tired all the time. She didn't used to feel tired. She used to have a lot of energy. Why was she so tired all the time? You should eat more sugar, her friend told her. Sugar will give you energy. But Carol didn't want to eat more sugar. More sugar would give her more weight. She didn't want to put on weight. She wanted to have energy again. She finally decided to see a doctor. Her doctor told her that she had a thyroid problem. What is a thyroid? She asked her doctor. It can make you feel very tired, but don't worry, I can fix it, he told her. Carol felt tired. She felt tired all the time. She didn't used to feel tired. She used to have a lot of energy. Why was she so tired all the time? You should eat more sugar, her friend told her. Sugar will give you energy. But Carol didn't want to eat more sugar. More sugar would give her more weight. She didn't want to put on weight. She wanted to have energy again. She finally decided to see a doctor. Her doctor told her that she had a thyroid problem. What is a thyroid? She asked her doctor. It can make you feel very tired. But don't worry, I can fix it, he told her.
قصة هعورود.
Helen is unhappy with her mother. Her mother is unhappy with Helen. They are both unhappy with each other. Helen has a boyfriend. His name is Peter. Her mother doesn't like Peter. Her mother said that Peter is rude. Why did she say that? Because Peter didn't take his hat off in the house. Helen's mother says that is rude. A man should take his hat off in the house. Your father always took his hat off in the house, Helen's mother said. But Mom, times are different now, Helen said. I promise you, Peter will take his hat off next time. Helen's mother said it was too late. Rude is rude. Helen is unhappy with her mother. Her mother is unhappy with Helen. They are both unhappy with each other. Helen has a boyfriend. His name is Peter. Her mother doesn't like Peter. Her mother said that Peter is rude. Why did she say that? Because Peter didn't take his hat off in the house. Helen's mother says that is rude. A man should take his hat off in the house. Your father always took his hat off in the house, Helen's mother said. But Mom, times are different now, Helen said. I promise you, Peter will take his hat off next time. Helen's mother said it was too late. Rude is rude.
قصة جديدة بعنوان In Love.
Donna loved her husband. Her husband loved Donna. They were in love with each other. She wanted to give him a birthday present. He was going to be 40 years old next week. She wondered what to give him. Should she give him a watch? Should she give him a sweater? Should she give him a new guitar? What should she give him? She asked him what he wanted for his birthday. He said he didn't want anything for his birthday. Oh, you must want something, she said. You're right, he said. I want your love forever. Donna loved her husband. Her husband loved Donna. They were in love with each other. She wanted to give him a birthday present. He was going to be 40 years old next week. She wondered what to give him. Should she give him a watch? Should she give him a sweater? Should she give him a new guitar? What should she give him? She asked him what he wanted for his birthday. He said he didn't want anything for his birthday. Oh, you must want something, she said. You're right, he said. I want your love forever.
قصة a new car.
Mark bought a new car last week. He is happy with his new car. He got a good deal on his new car. It was on sale. His new car is green. The 4 tires are black. His new car has 4 doors. It has 1 trunk. The spare tire is in the trunk. All new cars have a spare tire. His new car has 1 hood. The engine is under the hood. All new cars have an engine. His new car has 2 big seats. 1 seat is in the front. 1 seat is in the back. Mark sits in the front seat when he drives his new car. He always buckles his seat belt. Mark bought a new car last week. He is happy with his new car. He got a good deal on his new car. It was on sale. His new car is green. The 4 tires are black. His new car has 4 doors. It has 1 trunk. The spare tire is in the trunk. All new cars have a spare tire. His new car has one hood. The engine is under the hood. All new cars have an engine. His new car has two big seats. One seat is in the front. One seat is in the back. Mark sits in the front seat when he drives his new car. He always buckles his seat belt.
قصة new shoes.
Lisa loves to go shopping. Tomorrow she is going shopping. She needs a new pair of shoes. She wants to buy a pair of red shoes. She thinks red shoes are pretty. She will buy a pair of shoes at the mall. Lisa usually shops at the mall. The mall is only a mile from her house. She just walks to the mall. It only takes her 20 minutes. Tomorrow she will go to 4 different shoe stores. Tomorrow is Saturday. The mall always has sales on Saturday. If the sale price is good, Lisa might buy 2 pairs of shoes. Lisa loves to go shopping. Tomorrow she is going shopping. She needs a new pair of shoes. She wants to buy a pair of red shoes. She thinks red shoes are pretty. She will buy a pair of shoes at the mall. Lisa usually shops at the mall. The mall is only a mile from her house. She just walks to the mall. It only takes her 20 minutes. Tomorrow she will go to 4 different shoe stores. Tomorrow is Saturday. The mall always has sales on Saturday. If the sale price is good, Lisa might buy 2 pairs of shoes.
فيديو جديد بعنوان questions.
When does Ronald eat breakfast? He eats breakfast in the morning. What does he eat for breakfast? He eats ham and eggs. What does he drink for breakfast? He drinks coffee. Where does he eat breakfast? He eats breakfast at home. Who makes breakfast for Ronald? His wife makes breakfast for him. Why does Ronald eat breakfast? Because food gives him energy. What does he do after he eats breakfast? He brushes his teeth. What does he do after he brushes his teeth? He goes to work. Which bus does he take to work? He takes the city bus to work. When does Ronald eat breakfast? He eats breakfast in the morning. What does he eat for breakfast? He eats ham and eggs. What does he drink for breakfast? He drinks coffee. Where does he eat breakfast? He eats breakfast at home. Who makes breakfast for Ronald? His wife makes breakfast for him. Why does Ronald eat breakfast? Because food gives him energy. What does he do after he eats breakfast? He brushes his teeth. What does he do after he brushes his teeth? He goes to work. Which bus does he take to work? He takes the city bus to work.
قصة A Red Bike.
Paul has a red bicycle. He loves his red bicycle. He got the red bicycle for his 9th birthday. His parents gave him his bike when he was 9. He takes care of his bike. He puts air in both tires. He puts air in the front tire. He puts air in the rear tire. He puts oil on the bike chain. He wipes dirt off the bike with a damp rag. He puts water on the rag and wipes all the dirt away. He rides his bike everywhere. He rides it to school. He rides it to the library. He rides it to his friend's house. He really loves his bike. Paul has a red bicycle. He loves his red bicycle. He got the red bicycle for his 9th birthday. His parents gave him his bike when he was 9. He takes care of his bike. He puts air in both tires. He puts air in the front tire. He puts air in the rear tire. He puts oil on the bike chain. He wipes dirt off the bike with a damp rag. He puts water on the rag and wipes all the dirt away. He rides his bike everywhere. He rides it to school. He rides it to the library. He rides it to his friend's house. He really loves his bike.
قصة The Runner.
Betty's doctor told her to exercise more, so she began running. She enjoys running. She runs almost every day. She runs 2 miles a day. On the weekend she runs 5 miles. She runs up hills. She runs down hills. She runs in the street and on the sidewalk. She runs on trails. She runs in the heat and the cold. She runs on sunny days and rainy days. Betty will run in the marathon next week. Next week will be her first marathon. A marathon is 26 miles. She will run for 3 hours without stopping. She won't try to win the marathon. She will try to finish it. Betty's doctor told her to exercise more. So she began running. She enjoys running. She runs almost every day. She runs 2 miles a day. On the weekend she runs 5 miles. She runs up hills. She runs down hills. She runs in the street and on the sidewalk. She runs on trails. She runs in the heat and the cold. She runs on sunny days and rainy days. Betty will run in the marathon next week. Next week will be her first marathon. A marathon is 26 miles. She will run for 3 hours without stopping. She won't try to win the marathon. She will try to finish it.
بسم الله. قصة شورت جيرل، فتاة قصيرة.
Margaret was a small girl. She was a little girl. All her friends were taller than her. She was shorter than all her friends. She wanted to be tall. Her mom told her not to worry. One day Margaret would be tall. One day she would be taller than her friends. One day all her friends would be shorter than her. She was happy to hear that. She only had one question for her mom. When would she be taller than her friends? Would it be next year? She hoped it would be next year. She was tired of being the shortest girl. Margaret was a small girl. She was a little girl. all her friends were taller than her. She was shorter than all her friends. She wanted to be tall. Her mom told her not to worry. One day Margaret would be tall. One day she would be taller than her friends. One day all her friends would be shorter than her. She was happy to hear that. She only had one question for her mom. When would she be taller than her friends? Would it be next year? She hoped it would be next year. She was tired of being the shortest girl.
قصة The swimmer.
Karen is on the swim team. She is on the swim team at school. She is a good swimmer. All the swimmers on the swim team are good swimmers. She swims every day. She goes to the pool after her last class. Her last class is her English class. After English class, she walks over to the pool. She changes into her swimsuit. She dives into the water. She swims for 2 hours. Her coach watches her swim. He gives her advice. He tells her how to swim better. Her coach is her swim instructor. He is a good instructor. She will win a race one day. Karen is on the swim team. She is on the swim team at school. She is a good swimmer. All the swimmers on the swim team are good swimmers. She swims every day. She goes to the pool after her last class. Her last class is her English class. After English class, she walks over to the pool. She changes into her swimsuit. She dives into the water. She swims for 2 hours. Her coach watches her swim. He gives her advice. He tells her how to swim better. Her coach is her swim instructor. He is a good instructor. She will win a race one day.
فيديو جديد بعنوان swimming pool.
Sharon jumped into the water at the swimming pool. She held her nose. She went under the water. Then she came back up. She swam to the ladder in the pool. She climbed out of the pool. She stood at the edge of the pool. She held her nose. She jumped in again. Sharon liked to jump into the pool. The water felt good. It was a hot day. The water was cool. The water felt so good. Sharon's mother had brought her to the pool. Her mother was sitting in a chair. She was watching Sharon. She wanted Sharon to have fun. Sharon jumped into the water at the swimming pool. She held her nose. She went under the water. Then she came back up. She swam to the ladder in the pool. She climbed out of the pool. She stood at the edge of the pool. She held her nose. She jumped in again. Sharon liked to jump into the pool. The water felt good. It was a hot day. The water was cool. The water felt so good. Sharon's mother had brought her to the pool. Her mother was sitting in a chair. She was watching Sharon. She wanted Sharon to have fun.
قصة 10th birthday.
Dorothy will be 10 years old next month. She is excited. 10 years old is very old. She will not be a little kid anymore. A 9-year-old kid is just a little kid. A 10-year-old kid is almost an adult. 9 is only one number, but 10 is two numbers. 9 is a little kid number, but 10 is an adult number. When she is 10, she will be an adult almost. She will be a young woman. She will wear lipstick. She will wear nail polish. She will have a boyfriend. He will be handsome and polite. He will open doors for her. He will buy her birthday presents. Dorothy can't wait until next month. Dorothy will be 10 years old next month. She is excited. "10 years old is very old." She will not be a little kid anymore. A 9-year-old kid is just a little kid. A 10-year-old kid is almost an adult. Nine is only one number, but 10 is two numbers. Nine is a little kid number, but 10 is an adult number. When she is 10, she will be an adult almost. She will be a young woman. She will wear lipstick. She will wear nail polish. She will have a boyfriend. He will be handsome and polite. He will open doors for her. He will buy her birthday presents. Dorothy can't wait until next month.
بسم الله. قصة The Farm، المزرعة.
Daniel wanted to visit a farm. He asked his parents to take him to a farm. His teacher told him about the animals on a farm. There are lots of animals on a farm. Daniel wanted to see the animals. He wanted to see the cows. He wanted to see the chickens. He wanted to see the pigs. He wanted to pet the animals. He wanted to feed the animals. He loved animals. He wanted to live on a farm. He wanted to live with cows and chickens and pigs. They would be his friends. He didn't have any friends in school. Daniel wanted to visit a farm. He asked his parents to take him to a farm. His teacher told him about the animals on a farm. There are lots of animals on a farm. Daniel wanted to see the animals. He wanted to see the cows. He wanted to see the chickens. He wanted to see the pigs. He wanted to pet the animals. He wanted to feed the animals. He loved animals. He wanted to live on a farm. He wanted to live with cows and chickens and pigs. They would be his friends. He didn't have any friends in school.
فيديو جديد بعنوان work.
It was time for bed. Edward was very tired. He turned off the TV. He turned off his computer. He turned off the dining room light. He went into the bathroom. He brushed his teeth. He went into the bedroom. He put on his pajamas. He got into bed. He put his head on the pillow. He pulled the blanket up to his shoulders. He thought about all the work he had done that day. He thought about all the work he had to do the next day. He closed his eyes. He thought about his vacation in 3 months. That would be so nice. It was time for bed. Edward was very tired. He turned off the TV. He turned off his computer. He turned off the dining room light. He went into the bathroom. He brushed his teeth. He went into the bedroom. He put on his pajamas. He got into bed. He put his head on the pillow. He pulled the blanket up to his shoulders. He thought about all the work he had done that day. He thought about all the work he had to do the next day. He closed his eyes. He thought about his vacation in 3 months. That would be so nice.
لا تنسوا الاعجاب بالفيديو والاشتراك في القناة.